Today I'm going to show you an action thriller film from 2015, titled The Riot. Be ready for spoilers ahead. The movie opens up in a prison where a police officer named Green is preparing himself to deliver some money to one of the prisoners, a notorious Russian criminal named B. B is a prominent prisoner residing in a distinct facility under the watchful eye of his personal guards and enjoys opulent amenities. Despite being in prison, B is able to run the product sales alongside the illegal trafficking business. B is staying in prison because he feels like it's the safest place where his enemies cannot attack him. New prisoners are brought to the prison and told they'll be housed in B's building. An ex-officer named Jack is among the prisoners, facing accusations of killing a fellow officer on duty and robbing a bank. Officer Green stops Jack before he can enter his assigned cell and subject him to a beating. He also berates him for killing an officer and mentions that he'll not be able to remain alive for long in the prison. The narrative shifts back to a week before. Jack and his fellow officers rob a Russian mob bank, which turned out to be a plan to gather enough evidence against B and the corrupt government officers who run the criminal business in the prison. After successfully obtaining the evidence from the lockers, Jack and his colleagues attempt to escape, only to have the other officers surround them. The confrontation escalates quickly into a brutal shootout, which results in Jack's colleagues' deaths. Only Jack manages to escape for the moment and run inside a building, but when he tries to sneak out, one officer confronts him and makes threats. Jack recognizes this officer as being involved in his wife's murder and jumps off the building with him, killing him instantly in the fall but somehow surviving himself. Jack then left the evidence in the apartment of a reporter named Sarah and shared information with her about the corruption involving government officials and B. He asked her to report this to the district attorney's office. Back in the present, Jack is sharing a cell with another inmate named Silva. Later during lunch, B's cousin Semyon approaches Jack, demanding protection money. When Jack refuses, Semyon and his men attack him. Jack fights fiercely back, leading to Semyon getting caught by the guards and sent to solitary confinement. Subsequently, Jack is taken to a secure cell where he communicates with B through security cameras. B warns Jack to stay out of his business, threatening that if he doesn't, he'll end up dead just like his wife. That night, 3 of B's men enter Jack's cell to attack him, but Jack easily overpowers them without waking his cellmate. Meanwhile, Sarah is investigating the evidence Jack left and learns his true identity, and after finding out more details, Sarah heads to the district attorney's office to meet with him. However, the secretary tells her that the attorney is busy, suggesting she leave the evidence with his assistant, Mark. Sarah doesn't trust anyone with her sensitive information, so she decides to leave without handing over the evidence. Later, Sarah waits outside the office until the attorney steps out. She approaches him and explains that she has evidence linking government officials to criminal activities. The district attorney gives her his card and tells her to contact him if she needs more help. Sarah then visits Jack in prison and tells him she's working on the information he provided. Jack advises her to use it carefully before leaving the visiting room. Afterwards, William, the janitor, approaches Jack and cautions him about B's men in light of Semyon's experience. Jack replies that he isn't afraid of B or Semyon, and he asks William about the location of B's cell. William explains that B's cell location is a secret, so hidden that even most prison guards don't know about it. Meanwhile, in the women's prison, 2 female inmates engage in a brutal fight. As they struggle, the prison guards arrive and break up the fight. Following the fight, the prison guards take Elena to B's presence, along with Semyon and other prisoners. Semyon and his men are punished for collecting the money without B's permission, while Elena is sternly warned to stay away from B's favorite female prisoner, otherwise he will peel off her face and pin it on his wall. B then announces a reward for anyone who can eliminate Jack. Consequently, the prisoners team up and attack Jack while he's chatting with William, but Jack and William use their skills and manage to defeat everyone. Meanwhile, B gets a call from the attorney, warning him that a journalist, named Sarah, has evidence against him. This angers B, who then orders the attorney to silence Sarah and plans to have Jack killed by the end of the day. Later, while Jack is doing his laundry, a group of prison guards arrives to claim B's reward. They swiftly start beating him, but Jack fights back and defeats them. Another group of inmates confronts him as he leaves. Instead of attacking, Jack convinces them the reward money won't be worth it and will be even smaller if they split it. The prisoners reconsider and walk away. Meanwhile, Sarah visits her friend Allison and shares everything about B and the evidence she has against him and the government officials working with him. Later, Elena approaches B's female prisoner to apologize for what happened, but she's not interested in the apology and punches Elena in the face. Elena feigns to pass out, so the guards take her to the prison doctor. But later she unlocks her handcuffs with a paper clip, steals some alcohol and medicines, and hides them in William's cleaning bucket. She then sneaks into an air vent with a tool to find the security camera room. With William's help, she sneaks back to the medical room just in time. Simultaneously, Sarah visits Jack and tells him she's figured out his real background. She then asks him why he killed a fellow officer. Jack explains that B's men killed his wife, and the officer he killed was part of that group. Later, Jack learns that William isn't a casual prisoner but an undercover officer. He has been undercover for 6 months on the mission to expose the corrupt prisoners and government officials working for B. He also discloses that Elena is collaborating with him to collect concealed evidence within the prison. While William is explaining this to Jack, other inmates suddenly attack them, and a fight breaks out. Later, they throw Jack into solitary confinement, accusing him of initiating the fight. Since William has never engaged in conflict with B's men before, the warden summons him for a meeting. The warden warns William to pay him more if he wants to keep doing his undercover work in the prison. Sarah attempts to schedule another meeting with the district attorney, but the secretary informs her that the attorney is preoccupied with multiple meetings. Mark approaches Sarah again, pushing her to hand over the evidence, but she refuses. Meanwhile, B's daughter comes to visit him, but as he exits the room, William notices and signals Elena to start their plan. Following William's instructions, Elena pretends to faint, and a guard takes her to the medical room. Once inside, Elena and William attack the guard. Elena then sneaks into the security camera room, while William, disguised as a prison guard, heads to the control room. Watching the cameras, Elena monitors B's movements as William unlocks Jack's solitary cell, setting him free. Jack knocks out a guard and takes his uniform. William and Elena tell Jack they'll guide him to B's private cell before he returns. Soon after, the warden and several guards realize someone has broken into the security room. As they try to break in, Elena escapes through the ventilation ducts. William, aware that time is running out before B returns, opens all the prison cell doors to cause chaos throughout the prison. All inmates rush out of their cells, attacking guards, revenging for mistreating them. In the midst of the chaos, Jack stops Officer Green's escape attempt by pushing him into a crowd of inmates. William and Elena fend off attacks from other inmates. As Jack tries to confront B, he bumps into Simeone, and the two get into a fight. Though Simeone stabs Jack in the stomach, Jack overpowers him and reaches B's chamber. Allison has teamed up with the district attorney against Sarah, planning to kill her. Just before Allison can shoot, Mark steps in, revealing that he is an FBI agent. It turns out Mark has been working undercover as the prosecutor's assistant to expose the attorney's corruption scheme and other government officials' misconduct. Back at the prison, William takes down the warden and other guards when they try to stop Jack from fighting B in his cell. Jack finally engages B in a one-on-one fight. B initially takes control and knocks Jack down. As Jack lies helpless, he remembers his wife's murder by B and his men, giving him the strength to get back up. Jack ultimately overpowers B, avenging his wife's death before the SWAT team arrives and restores order in the prison. When the chaos ends, William introduces Jack and Elena to each other. William then tells them his boss appreciates their help in taking down B's criminal network, both inside and outside the prison. Jack thanks William and Elena for helping him get his revenge. In the aftermath, the FBI arrests all the government officials and police officers who worked with B and similar gangs. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.